Hello?
Beep, 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 beep. Morning. How are we? Sat there with your breakfast. I love it. Somebody messaged me saying, I listened to you over breakfast. I thought, oh, good God, the jester and cornflakes. That's not something you want in your life in a hurry, is it? Right, I've been busy, right? I've been stealing that Ed Warrior bloke stuff. Because I want to have a chat to you about neuroeugenics. Right? Neuroeugenics. This is something we need to get used to saying, okay? So, my glasses are steaming up again. See, this weather's driving me round the bloody bend. I don't know how you're managing. Oh. Anyway, subscribe. Links where necessary. Come and be a warrior teacher. The usual stuff, all right? Come and join us. I've had such a good week because I've been teaching them. Well, he has. So, I've stolen a bit from the course. From the latter half of year 3. Which I put up in a couple of pictures, and there's going to be an article that you can find on my Twitter and also an article on Substack that will be available to everybody. But this video will only be available to Substack subscribers with the full film clip that I'm going to show you. Okay, so I can't put it on YouTube because of copyright. So you'll now find that this jumps to me talking about something you've not been able to watch. That'll happen, unfortunately. But go and join me Substack if you want to see it. Eventually, a few weeks from now, I might stick it up on Twitter, but we'll wait and see how we go. But to begin with, neuroeugenics. What the hell am I talking about? Well, first off, neuroeugenics is the attempt to subtly change your thinking, to subtly nudge you in the way of the herd, to make you think like those that want you to think, right? To make you better. Okay, that's what neuroeugenics is. It's like eugenics hereditary type, where they want to change human bodies and all that sort of weird stuff, which is a bit like trans now. But this is to affect you mentally. So you end up in work where you lecture in biology, and suddenly you're sitting down doing shit about fatness and queer studies and critical race theory and all the crap comes with it, right? So neuroeugenics is all that stuff. So I've got a few images that I'll put in the bottom of the blog on Substack, and the blog on Twitter, so that you can see it. But if you want the video with the clip that's coming up, you'll need to be a paid subscriber on my Substack. Copyright's a killer. I think copyright's absolutely unfit for purpose right now. I want to tell a story, I want to use a bit of a film, I should be able to do it. It's absolutely insane. That's what I think anyway. Right, so without further ado, let's go. I think that we should treat critical social justice, EDI, DEI, which is the sort of public face, the marketing face of all this bullshit. We should treat that like a public health problem. Like smoking, or better still, drink driving, right? Most people wouldn't think to drink drive. If somebody tried to drink drive, they would do something about it. You'd stop them, you'd get their keys. That's exactly what we should do with EDI, DEI. So you get these sort of rogue trainers running around companies going, well, I'm going to have some EDI, DEI training, and everybody else that's perfectly reasonable starts shouting at each other, intervention, intervention, and treat them like they're pissed and trying to drive, right? That's what I think we should do, right? With all of their nonsense. For example, trans, which we know is a complete fantasy, a complete lie. No such thing as gender dysphoria. Nobody's born in the wrong body. Men can't be women. It's the usual crap, right? We know that, right? Queer theory. We want to go and talk to your children about how grandma's the bad guy and the wolf is the good guy. And you have to be inclusive and here's a dildo, right? No. Right, that's queer theory. And then you've got my favourite at the moment is decolonizing. That's so funny. What are these people doing? What exactly are you decolonizing? Right? What are you? Decolonization, right, is like using a very thin tissue to wipe the bum piece of history. And when you get there, you find that it's got some really stubborn clinkers. They're just a waste of space, these people. I saw something the other day. They're going to decolonize people at cockle or something, fishermen, or navies. They're insane. And it's time we treated them like somebody who's trying to get in a car with a set of keys when they've had half a bottle of Johnny Walker. Right? That's what we need to do. Intervention! This person's pissed, right? Because this is what they're up to. Now, science fiction, brilliant at illustrating stuff, but usually takes us to extremists to try to make a point. So like if They Live by John Carpenter, In the Mouth of Madness, again by John Carpenter, Fahrenheit 451, 1984, Brave New World. It takes us in extremis to the extreme nature of where we're heading in order to illustrate what the end point is if we're not careful. Same here with EDI and DEI. So yeah, I've got some science fiction in extremis for you. It's about 3.5 minutes long, I think, something like that. So sit and watch it. Be warned, it's not very pleasant. But it's from a fantastic film from the 70s, which if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. And I know that there are a lot of lily-livered warrior teachers that simply won't watch it, right? It's called A Clockwork Orange. Oh, rape, pillage, horror, terror, it's all in there, but it's genius. And in this scene, you are seeing the justification for their psychosocial intervention, which comes with drugs to make you feel sick, drugs to paralyze you, and being shown extreme imagery like the Nazis, etc. I mean, there's another scene which is far more extreme with rape and murder in it, but this one particularly shows you about Nazis, and this guy's being forced to watch it. Alex, his name is, and he's being put under what's called the Ludovico technique. And while they're doing this to him, the soundtrack of the film he's being forced to watch is Ludwig van Beethoven, which is his favourite composer. In other words, what they're inducing in him is a fear and terror reaction to something that will mean when he listens to Beethoven, he'll vomit. Right? So watch this, and then I'll give you a little bit of spiel at the end. Right? It's only a few minutes long. You'll enjoy it. Here we go. How good is that? It's just, I mean, that music and the callousness of the doctors. Oh, this is the punishment, maybe. This is the punishment. No, Alex, you will find yourself to be a better man. Hashtag be kind. Right? This is where this kind of soppy, liberal, lefty nonsense gets us, I'm afraid. I know it's an extremist, so what? That's the best way, is to illustrate both ends of the bookends and get people to go on, pick a side. And then you get the weak ones go, well, I'm going to sit there in the middle on the fence. Yeah. Right, okay. There is absolutely no reason to sit on the fence, because there is absolutely no reason why we need to be talking to any of these people. Because as I put up earlier on today, peaking is a process that is personal to you, and you have to go through it. All the denial, all the self-loathing, everything that comes with it, in order to come out the other end like the rest of us did. Right? We shouldn't be getting in bed with the enemy no matter who you are. Right? So this is, what's happening here is they're trying to educate Alex to not be violent, and in doing so they're using psychological techniques, and they're using aversion therapy, which is the sort of thing that used to happen years ago with gay people. But of course it's a fatal mistake. The same as EDI is a fatal mistake. It weakens human character because it is a top-down collectivist leftist ideology. Therefore it weakens people. It weakens you, starting with something like unconscious bias, which takes away your ability to recognize risk. We need to treat this like somebody is pissed and trying to drive a car. I don't see any other way around it, and I'd be glad to hear from somebody who does. So, in addition to that, what I've also put up, you'll find floating around various places, is I put up a list of common sort of themes of these courses that universities and businesses and organisations are putting people through, right? So you've got things like, affirmative studies and fat studies and, porky pig studies, all the crap that they've got. So you'll see the table. It's on the left hand side. It tells you what the studies are. It tells you what the training is, and then what it's trying to achieve and why there's something wrong with it. So you've got another table for that, and this is all taken from a seminar in year 3 of the Warrior Teacher Program, and I've been teaching it this week, so I thought it might be fun just to introduce you to a little bit of it, so you can get to have a look and see the sort of thing that we're up to as Warrior Teachers when we consider how we fight back against this nonsense. And it was great. I put it up this morning, and somebody's already said, I've totally told work I'm not doing any of it. I've said that I will not take part in this. And I think there is an argument to be made, and I'd like to hear from the legal bods. Legal people, where are you? Right? Can you sue? Can you sue because they are making a behavioural intervention to change your thinking and change your behaviour, which has got absolutely nothing to do with the job and everything to do with compliance to EDI and DEI? Why can't we sue on that basis, that it's psychologically damaging? It's essentially a softer version of the Ludovico technique. But believe me, when people start to push back, they'll get tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. That's what they'll do. They'll fight back because they won't give up their utopia. They will not give up their utopia. That's what we have to fully understand, is that this is their reasoning. Okay, so I think it's fascinating. Have a look at what I put up on the blog and etc. And have a read and let me know what you think, because I genuinely despair if we cannot get this stuff gone. And I suggest the best thing to do with it is to treat it like people are pissed and trying to drive a car. So welcome to our training session today. What is it on? Well, it's on queer phobia. Is it? Okay, right. Intervention! At which point, you get them a coffee and put them to bed for the night. Come on, love, you'll be all right. Or if it's a, or you could treat him like it's a stag night and just tie him to a lamppost. Either way, EDI DEI should be seen the same as drink driving. It is a dangerous social idea. It is a dangerous interference in people's lives. I think it's a public health matter, and I think the sooner we treat it like a public health matter, the better. Now, the other thing that comes on the back of this is we need to get the therapeutic out of education. I'm going to bother the thoughtful therapists. That's what I'm going to do. If any of you are a thoughtful therapist, prepare for a bothering. I'm coming for you. And I think it's time we ought to sit down and have a chat about how do we draw the distinction between that which is the therapeutic and that which is the educational. And once we've got the line between what is therapeutic and what is educational, then we can look at what's in schools and get the therapeutic out. We can look at what's in the workplace and get the therapeutic out. Because therapy lives in service to education and progress. If somebody goes to therapy because they're not too well or they're having a problem dealing with something, that therapy should be orientated towards that person's further development, i.e. their education and their progress. If it's not, it's just a talking shop. Affirmation, 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 affirmation. It's all that kind of cobblers. This is hardcore dangerous stuff. Right across the board. So you let me know what you think. I think that's my mulls over. Come and be a warrior teacher. We're starting October. Get your bloody name down. I'd like to fill the group. I've never done that, Never done it. Only ever got about halfway. And they're all fantastic, and I'm seeing them all this week, and it's really exciting. So anyway, that's enough. I hope your cornflakes are all right, and I haven't soured your milk. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you later. Ta-da! I'm leaving.